Hey there, Big Brother fans. It is me, Mike. It is Thursday, June. Crap, I forgot it again. 15th. And I am trying something out. So for those of you that are hearing this, you're just going to hear me talk. My patrons are going to actually get to see me talk. I don't know if that's a big thrill, but I thought, Patreon just introduced a thing where you can do video for free. I thought I'd give it a shot. I used to be camera shy, but when I did the show Sequester, the online thing Sequester a few years ago, I got less so, and I thought, you know what, I do these also when I'm driving, but usually the driving part is I'm showing you the road. And today, I don't think I can flip. I wonder if I can flip my camera. Hang on one second here. Let's see. Can I flip it? Nope, that's not flipping it. That's not flipping it. I don't know how to flip it. I guess I can't flip my camera. All right, so we won't flip it. You'll just have to watch me drive, which I see an awful lot of people do it. So I guess it's the thing, right? Anyways, so I thought I would give this a shot. If you're seeing this, it means I've decided to upload it to Patreon, and I will also then strip out the audio, upload the audio only to Spreaker, which will go out on my CarCast, and you guys will have a new CarCast. I don't think I have done a CarCast since CBS officially announced the start date of August 2nd. So those of you listening, the last time you heard me talk was when I was told that it was going to be August 2nd, but I hadn't had the confirmation, and I've recorded a couple times since then and never ended up publishing it. So here I am now doing one. I don't have a lot to tell you. I actually tweeted just earlier today that there is no news. There's rumors out there. There's people saying, "Oh, it's going to be no live feeds now," and it's like, no, I don't think it's going to be. I mean, is there a possibility? There's a possibility, but they've implied there will be live feeds. That doesn't mean that somebody at some point couldn't say there will not be live feeds, because I originally said the premiere date was going to be July 12th, because that's what I was told, and then that got changed to August 2nd. So changes can happen. So never say never, but I've not heard anything. I'm also not reaching out to anybody to ask. I'm just not going to worry about that right now. I think there will be live feeds. They would be doing themselves a huge disservice if they shut off the live feeds. People will be very unhappy, but maybe they'll decide they can do without it. We speculated they might do away with it. So, but right now, no, I'm not thinking. We knew all new cast, live feeds, and start date of August 2nd. That they haven't released the finale date when they announced it officially. I was told November 9th. Of course, that may change. That may not be firm, but that's what I was told. But they generally don't announce the finale date until closer to the finale, because they may shift it, which, as I have mentioned, they've done before. So that's 99 days as it is, which is on the long side. But writer's strike is still going on, so it could be that they need to stretch it as much as they can. So what other news do I have? Not much. I don't know. I really didn't have a whole lot to talk about. I just wanted to do this as kind of a test to get it posted. You guys can tell me what you think. Those of you that are interested, now here's my shameless plug. I do have a Patreon. It is, you name your price. You don't get any super magical things. It's just a way to support me, because goodness knows that referrals don't do any kind of support anymore. I did, and I have bills to pay. Here's a side story. I switched my hosting from GoDaddy to another hosting site who I can't even think of the name right now, just recently, and I thought I had unticked the auto renew for GoDaddy, and I mustn't have. And so it auto-renewed my hosting package last week. So I got a suddenly amount that, hey, you've been billed. It was $170 for my hosting package, annual. I was like, whoa, I'm not doing that anymore. I've switched. And amazingly enough, it was very helpful. The GoDaddy people were very helpful. And this was on Sunday. It was on a Sunday morning that I got the notification, this past Sunday. And I reached out via chat and got into their text system. And so I'm texting with a support person, and that support person was an absolute breeze to work with. They got my account refunded. so I didn't have to pay for a year's worth of hosting that I was never going to use. So kudos to GoDaddy in that they did make it very easy for me to reverse a charge. And I thought they were going to tell me, sorry, there's no reversing. You're locked in for a year, but we won't auto-renew next year. But they didn't. So yay for them. What else? We'll go down. So that's it as far as Big Brother is going on. I don't have any information. I have mentioned that one of my Sequester co-cast members from the very first time I played Sequester is going to be on the next season of Survivor, which is also in the fall. So Brandon Donlin is going to be on. That's cool. I don't have any new information about that either, but it has been confirmed that he's going to be on. And so there's that. I watched a new reality show called, I think it's called Rise and Fall. I tweeted about it, and you can find it out on darn it, I can't think of it'll come back to me. The other video site, which name I can't think of right now, and I'm not gonna forget about it. I tweeted about it. If you're interested, tweet at me. I will fill you in. I will link you. The person that had asked me originally about it couldn't find the most recent episodes. I uploaded all the episodes, and I will create links to it if I need to help people watch it. It was an interesting show. It's the theme was some people start at the top at the penthouse, and everybody else starts in the basement, and you're trying to work your way up to get voted up to the penthouse, whereas people in the penthouse vote each other out. And the game is that you want to be the last, you want to be voted the winner, and you have to be in the penthouse to be the winner, and the winner gets a chunk of money that the people that are in the basement have been earning the whole time. So it's an interesting thing. It's typical reality show. Obviously there's editing going on, but it was fun to watch. It was a good binge watch. It was like 18 episodes. It aired in March and April of this current year in the UK. And it was, I came across it randomly and just watched it. It was good. So anyways, there's that. What else? I guess we'll just kick into the last little bit here. So the last little bit here would be social media in general. So I've talked about Twitter. Back in November, Elon Musk took over Twitter, bought Twitter, and there was a running fear that Twitter was going to die, that it was going to, stop being as friendly as it was. It was going to have all kinds of problems, and I am going to say right now, there have definitely been problems with Twitter under his guidance. Now, there may have been troubles without his guidance. He could have been in trouble anyways, but no one can question that Twitter has not had problems since November. And I will argue with anybody who wants to, but I'm right, so we'll just leave it at that. Point is, a lot of other options popped up over the course of the last few months, including Post.news, and Mastodon was one that got a lot of press, and Spoutable is another one that got a lot of press. And we'd heard about one that was in beta that was actually originated within the Twitter sphere. Jack Dorsey had a part in it, and it's called Blue Sky. And it had a thing that you could sign up for, like back in January. You could register to get in on the beta, and you would get a limited number of invites. And so by the way, I signed up for, and I've talked about this, I have a presence on Post.news, I have a presence on Spoutable, I have a presence on Mastodon, I have my accounts all there. My BB Gossip account exists in all those places, because I was like, okay, if Twitter goes away, sorry, driving with no hands, if Twitter goes away, I want to have a landing place. And so while I'm still active mostly on Twitter, I wanted to have the ability to jump to someplace else in case it went away. And so that's what I did. And so most recently, back in April, I got the invite to actually join the beta of Blue Sky. And so I joined it, and it was kind of quiet, not a whole lot going on. At least, it was like, okay, this is interesting, but nothing was any more interesting to me than Mastodon or Spoutable or Post.news. It was kind of like, okay, this is a small place. And frankly, right now, the people that are there are not, it's not like Big Brother is on Twitter. You know, there's not people there that are talking about Big Brother. There's no Big Brother community per se, or there especially wasn't when I first got there. But I was looking for a place that felt comfortable, that seemed like it was manageable. There's a whole thing called federated apps that's a whole other technical thing that we don't need to get into. But the point is, for the purposes of the different kinds of apps, Blue Sky is closest in some ways to Mastodon. Mastodon was on a bunch of different servers, and that made it kind of confusing for people. And really, Blue Sky is the same kind of premise, except for they only have one server. So eventually, if it works out, they will be on a bunch of different servers, but for right now, they're only on one. And that made it easy for people to go there and just, we're all on one big server and we can all communicate. And so I got in there, I poked around a little bit, just like, okay, this is interesting. And then I kind of let it go. And about, I don't know, I check in every once in a while. And then one day, a few weeks ago, maybe about a month ago, I tuned in, and it was like the place had blown up. Somehow they got a bunch of invites to people, and a huge mass of humanity jumped out of Twitter and jumped into Blue Sky, and it was just crazy busy. The amount of traffic, the amount of chatting that was going on, the amount of, and it was an experience. It was a lot. But still nothing about Big Brother, by the way. But it was still like crazy, like, oh my gosh. And it got so much, it got tons of press. People were actually selling invites on the internet for hundreds of dollars, like, because you get, as a member, you get one invite every 2 weeks that you can share with someone. So that's not a lot. And I admit, I had checked in after I had been there. I was like, oh my gosh, this place is blowing up. And look, I have an invite. Well, I gave that invite to myself, and I set up an alternate account. So my first invite went to myself, and then my second invite went to a friend. Eventually, I managed to get. The developers actually gave me some extra invites. They were giving out invites occasionally to people, and I got a few more people there. But still, no Big Brother vibe. And then, within the past couple of days, they took a shine to me for some reason, and they started giving me quite a few invites. And so I've spent the last 36 hours reaching out to people and getting them invites, or people reaching out to me and getting invites. Now, I am talking to, at the very least, several hundred people when I do this. I don't know how many of you are interested in even Blue Sky, and I don't want to make promises that I can't keep, and so that's why I'm trying to preface this. I don't think that many of you are that interested in jumping out of Twitter, even if you are on Twitter. A lot of you probably may not even be on Twitter, but those of you that are on Twitter, I don't know how many of you have an interest in Blue Sky. It is a beta application. It is very similar to Twitter. It has a Twitter feel, but it has a lot of things that are not worked out yet. You can't post videos, you can't post animated images, you can't, the emojis are not just right there easily, the apps are different. There's all kinds of reasons that you might get frustrated with it. However, if you're even the slightest bit techie, and even if you're not, you can figure your way out. And if you want an experience that is definitely more like old school Twitter, like 2009 Twitter, back in the early days, it might be your thing. I'm happy that I am now, I think I'm close to 150 followers now. That's where I'm at. Now, remember, I have, or maybe you don't know, I have 110,000 followers on Twitter. So I'm happy to have 110 followers. I have 110,000 followers on Twitter. So it's a different world. It's everybody's kind of starting at the ground floor. There are celebrities there. There are people you would know there, names you would know. But again, I will say, for those of you listening to this, I do want to be clear. the right now, the vibe there is definitely, if you're going to worry about politics, if you're going to worry about social leanings, that kind of stuff, look, it is a left-leaning application. The people there are going to be much more liberal in their thinking, in their posting, in their ideology, and that's what it is right now. I'm not saying that it might not get more center as time goes on, but for right now, the people that are there, that's the vibe, that's the community. So keep that in mind. If that's not your thing, then you might not want to go there, or maybe you kind of want to go there and just kind of check it out. But just keep that in mind. So that being said, some of the people that are there, I think Stephen King showed up there. Of course, he butted heads with Elon. I think he's there. Jake Tapper from CNN was one of the first early adopters to where he was talking about it on CNN. AOC is probably the most famous politician that's on there. So again, I'm trying to tell you where the political leanings are. I'm just letting you know that there's definitely a feel on those lines. But it is a very interesting community. I just kind of, it's almost, to me, it's like I'm just kind of sitting back and watching it all go by, and I participate a little bit. But it's an interesting thing. But I have been trying now that the developers have enabled me to invite a few more people on there, is that I have been trying to get some people on there, because I would love to see a Big Brother community develop there before the show starts. Now, I'm not promising that is going to be my main hangout during Big Brother. I frankly am going to hang out at the place that has the most amount of people talking about Big Brother. Now, it won't be bad if I can go to both, if I can jump back and forth, but I just want to go wherever the most amount of traffic is to talk about it. I will probably try to go to both. If we get enough going on there, then I'll go there. I would also be happy to check out Spoutable, Post.News, Mastodon, wherever there are people talking about Big Brother. If there's enough quantity that it's worth my time to go there and talk about it, then I'll go there. I used to jump between message boards and Twitter and posting on things. I used to get around, but so that's where things are at. You can DM me on Twitter if you're interested in checking out. I will, people that DM me that aren't on my follow list and stuff, if I don't reply, there's two possibilities. One possibility is I don't see your DM. Okay, that is a possibility, because some people were DMing me and they weren't showing up. But the other possibility is that I'm out of invites and I don't have any invites. And so rather than reply and say I don't have any invites, I'm kind of leaving those at unacknowledged, because they kind of queue up then. And then when I get invites, I can poke through those and add those people. And it's just the easiest way for me to keep track, because now my DMs used to be very small, hardly few. Well, now I have a lot of DMs that are just like me giving people codes and them saying thank you. So my DMs, those of you that ever use Twitter, have ever used DMs, you understand that your DM list is kind of just a list of names. And my normal people that I chat with in the DM world, they're all buried now way at the bottom, because I've got all these new names that I've been communicating with to get this stuff out. So if you're interested, message me on Twitter, and I will get you a code if I have one available. And again, I'm saying all of this, sooner or later, the folks at Blue Sky may say, that's it, you have enough for now, and we'll let you know the next time we're letting a bunch of people in. Also, sooner or later, they're going to open it up to everyone. I just don't know when that time is. By the way, one other note, as far as the number of people or the number of accounts on Blue Sky, it's roughly it's just past 100,000. I don't know what the number was when I signed up personally originally. I'm going to guess it was under 50,000, or I just don't know what that number was. But when it all blew up, the number was hovering at around 70,000. Now I can remember seeing it bouncing around then, and now it's topped 100,000. And it's going to grow, exponentially as because every 2 weeks, everybody on the platform gets at least one invite. And there are people that are getting multiple invites as well. So it's going to grow, in theory, unless people get tired of it. So if you're interested, message me. Anything else to think about or to mention? I don't think so. Again, I've been doing this for, it looks like 19 minutes now. I am going to post this with the video on my Patreon site for my patrons. If you're interested, to watch me talk about this, by all means, sign up to Patreon. I would love you to be a patron. It's a monthly charge of whatever you pledge is charged monthly. It is not a per thing. There's no special super perks for doing, give me even more money. There isn't. You choose the level when you sign up, and it just gets charged once a month. And I do give people shout outs that have signed up for Patreon, assuming we don't get to, eventually, if the number gets too big, then, that may, I may just give a one-time shout out. But those of you that have listened to me for a long time know that I kind of go down my list of all my patrons. So that's a thought. If you want to do that, again, I am not doing, I have a referral account for the live feeds, but I just don't make any kind of money on that anymore. And really, so my attitude has been, look, Hamster Watch. I go to Dingo. Sign up for your live feeds through Dingo. Give her that if you can do that for her, because it's more of a livelihood for her. For me, this is kind of a hobby, and I'm just looking to cover my costs and get a little extra so that I can splurge money on my wife occasionally. That's my angle on this at this point. So again, sign up for live feeds through him or your favorite, whoever else does it that you like. Big Brother Network does affiliate live feeds too, I think, and those are the two that come to my mind. There are other people that do it well. Just don't sign up. At least go through an affiliate link in some way. Don't just go to CBS and sign up blatantly, because they get enough of them. They make tons of money off of you. You might as well give a little bit of cut to somebody. All right. I think that's about it, guys. Hope you've enjoyed it. Hope you have a good time. Holler at me again on Twitter at BBGOSSIP if for some reason you're hearing this and don't know where this is coming from. And I will talk to you guys, I don't know when. It's still 47, 48 days until Big Brother kicks off, so we got a ways to go. And we'll see you then. All right. Bye.